Okay, now that we have our KF foils all glued in, we're going to take a little time here. We're going to do a little trimming, cleaning up. When we fold foam like this, it tends to peel up towards the end, so you just want to kind of just round that out with your X-Acto knife just to make it neat. It looks nice. Once you tape it, you won't even be able to tell that you had any kind of need for trimming. Tape tends to cover a lot of mistakes, building mistakes. Definitely want to make tape your friend. You can get colored tape, packing tape from tapebrothers.com. The only place on the internet that I know of you can get that stuff, and it's very reasonably priced. They have a multi-pack, I believe comes with 7 different colors, called the Rainbow Pack. Goes for about, with shipping, I think it's around $29. You may think, well, that's a lot of money, but that will probably cover about 35, 40 airplanes, maybe more, depending on the size of your airplanes. So it's definitely worth the money. Or you can just go ahead and use Dollar Tree clear tape, cover the whole thing, and then if you want, you can use acrylic paint or spray paint, airbrush, anything like that. It has to be covered. You can't go and put any kind of paint on this foam board unless it's been taped, because what happens is the paper will start to peel off as it absorbs the paint, and you pretty much ruin your model. You don't want to do that. You don't want to spend all that time building only to have to throw it in the trash. So at minimum you need to cover it with a clear tape. Right, now that we have that all trimmed up, get rid of our trash here. Right, and we're going to go ahead and start gluing our fuselage sides. Now, due to the way that these pieces are cut, printed and cut, it wasn't very efficient. That's the word I'm looking for me to be able to get this to print on the other side. So what you're going to need to do with this notch here is you're going to need to cut it all the way through. We're not going to make a pull. We're going to do an all the way through type cut. All right? And you'll see why in a minute. Okay, once that's done, we're ready to test fit our piece. Always test fit pieces. You don't want to go ahead and make a glue mix, try to put it in there, and then realize that your piece doesn't fit, and then you've got glue sitting in the cup cooking on you. Okay, get a nice test fit. You want this to go all the way back, because you want this part here, back of the fuselage, to be flush with this the motor mount indent on the wing. Okay, now that we have that flush, okay, as you can see, it's nice and flush. And you also want this line here to be nice and straight, especially in the back here. So just, you can eyeball it, or you can, use a ruler and make a pen mark, something like this, give you a guide. Okay, just do this. Just extend this here line to the back, like that. And then that'll be the outer part of your fuselage. You can test your other fuselage side too at the same time, test fit it. You won't be gluing them together, and the reason for that is it's going to be very difficult to keep both pieces perfectly straight, because they have to be straight when they're drawn. You can't just throw them in and then leave them. Okay, so we do our test fit. Okay, so far so good. We got our lines there, nice and straight. Sure the bottom matches. And it's flush. Okay, looking good. We got a good fit. Okay, now we go ahead and just take that out. Put one fuselage side piece to the side, and then one is going to stay here on the table. Get yourself a ruler. Now I only do this as a guide. You're not going to cut anything, you're just going to make a pen mark between the front part of this here and the back, so that you know where to put your glue. Okay? Okay. What we're going to put glue on is we're going to glue. Oh, my bad. Scratch that. What you want to do is the outside. You see, this here is the outside because the nose bends towards the center. So what you want to do is you want to make that mark on the outside because that's the part that butts up onto the wing. You have to excuse me there, folks. I'm not even going to edit that out. We all make mistakes. Even the phone king. Alright? Now you've got a guide. You're going to put glue in here, right on that line. You put some glue in here, and you're also going to put some glue inside here, top and bottom. And then we're going to slide it in. Now, for this here, you could use the 30-minute, but you'll be sitting there for a while holding it. If you can get some 6-minute, it'll make your job a little bit easier because you're only making a little bit for this. So you can get away with using a 6-minute and not worry about it getting hard on you because you're not going to be sitting on this part too long. Go ahead, mix your glue as quick as possible. Doesn't need to be overly mixed. Okay. Lay our flat part first. All you need is a bead. You don't have to drown it. Make sure you've got a decent amount of glue left. So, brush it on. Probably only about 30 seconds into the mix, so we can plenty of time. Using 6-minute epoxy, you're going to want to, in your head, kind of give yourself an estimated stopwatch time kind of thing. You need to be done by 5 minutes. It's 6-minute epoxy, but that means it's set and hard and unusable in 6 minutes. Probably only actually got 5 minutes of working glue, and then it starts to set up and gel up, and then once it gets to that point, you can't use it anymore. And you're going to want to have that piece done before that happens, otherwise you'll lose that part. Alright. Now when you initially slide this piece in, you are going to want to try to get it as close as possible to the point where you want to end up. You don't spread glue all over the place. As glue starts dripping out, you are going to want to just give it a wipe, clean it up a bit. So you don't want it dripping all over the place because it might affect the attach points of the next part. Okay? Make sure that we're all the way back and we are lined up with our recess, securely attached to the side, and we're nice and straight. Check all angles just to make sure you're nice and straight. If all looks good, get your book. Should be preferably a thick book so that you see you can do this. Get another book and just let it sit on top. So what we have here is the piece isn't touching anything and it'll dry freely on its own. Okay, and once you do that, you go ahead and do that for your next side. When this piece gets hard, you do your other side, and then we move on to the next step.